Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're doing great. My name's George, and this is the public Sitrep. Usually I do this Sitrep somewhere on Monday morning, but because there are a couple of things going on at Safehouse, and most of the team is actually racing somewhere in Asia, killing everything on the track, and not only. And also, I moved to my country, and I'm currently arranging my place here. So we do have a lot of things going on. So I said, okay, I do have a couple of hours to free, so let's do this today. I want to give you the most important information right now on the Bitcoin and ES charts. So everyone using this information, everyone should be prepared for the trading week ahead. A couple of things to point out. I'm currently streaming from my laptop. Obviously, I hope that tomorrow I'll get my desk, my chair, my computer, my screens and everything. So I apologize for this situation. So I'm streaming from my laptop, so maybe I move just a bit slower, but other than that, the information, I would say it is the most important thing. And this is why if you want to join this stream, this is the most important thing, the information that I provide during this stream. Also, that's one of the reasons that you have no camera. Usually I shared my camera, but today this is not the case. Also, we do, like I said, there are exciting times. These are exciting times for Safehouse, not only at the personal level, but also at the professional levels, because starting next week and when everything will be up and running, we prepare a couple of things. We prepare to post more things, more charts, more information in our public Discord. Also, we do have a couple of surprises prepared for the premium levels. So if you're interested in good TA and good trading execution, please stay tuned, and hopefully everything will be ready by my next week, couple of days, Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay, but enough with that. Let's start with the Bitcoin chart. Basically, when I start my TA, I always like to start with the high time frame. And you know, if you watch the streams, if you are a member of Safehouse, you know my main trading idea, and that would be this range, this high time frame range, and most important, the value area low, point of control, value area high of this range. Those are the most important levels that we do have right now on the chart. And I was pointing out in our premium Discord that before this entire section of the chart, this part of the bear market that we are still in, obviously we need to see if this section of the chart, right, this rise, very good rise, no weakness yet. So we need to see if this is just part of the bigger bear market, or this is the start of a bull run. And that, in my opinion, it all comes out to this value area low of this high time frame range, this level, because we had before this drop, what I was saying is before this drop, we had this range, this consolidation area, the first drop. Then, as you can see, the value area low of this range is support. You know, the price was trying to push to the upside, but other than that, this level was lost, and the price was moving to the downside, giving the possibility of this entire range. Now, we are kind of in the same situation where the price is just consolidating, creating a range here. And in my opinion, this entire range, basically everything that's happening above, let's say, psychological 25K area, this entire section of the chart is about claiming or losing this level. So we need to figure out if this level will be claimed, and that's very good for the bulls, or if this level will still act as resistance, and then, you know, that will be a sign of weakness. Bitcoin being unable to claim this level, that will be a sign of weakness, and, you know, more downside is possible. So this is the first thing that we actually need to determine, right? And right now, this is, in my opinion, the most important level on the chart. Currently, like I said, we are just consolidating here, so we need to wait to get more information. And since we do have this section of the chart here, this range, obviously you all know I love to trade ranges. And if we enable the fixed range here, we can see that together with the high time frame level here, we do have some other levels that we can actually use for trading. And that would be, first of all, the value area of this range. Value area low, starting with the value area low, providing very good support. So you can see basically we do have very few candle closes below this level. We talk about here when the range was barely forming, but other than that, we do have this section of the chart. You can see one candle close. Obviously, I'm checking daily, so only one candle close below this level. But other than that, as you can see, level tapped, holding as support. You can see candle closes here. You can see wicks, but other than that, backtest, then up we go. So one of the levels that I'm looking towards this in this section of the chart is actually the value area low of this range. And like I said, as you can see, it is acting as a very good support right now. Then we move to the point of control. You can see most of the price action is on this point of control, consolidation, then the push to the upside, drop, value area low holding, and once again, this happened last week, the point of control acting as a very good support. And then we do have the other important level, I would say, which is the value area high of this range. You can see resistance, then claimed. The price was trying to flip the value area high to support here, and then the price once again got acceptance back into the value area, moving to the value area low, then value area high, point of control, and currently we are somewhere around the value area low. So I would say these levels, value area low, point of control, and value area high, because before we get more confirmation about what's going on a high time frame level, right? This kind of information and this kind of levels can be used for trading. Maybe not a swing trade, but definitely day trades. And you know, this range is a very good range in my opinion, because from, let's say, from top to bottom, we do have 15%, a 15% range. That is a lot of information and a lot of trades to be taken on this chart. Before I continue, actually, sound is good. Thank you, my friend. This is exactly what I was looking for. This confirmation that you can actually hear me and obviously see what I'm doing here. Okay, so before we get more confirmation about what's going on the macro level, if this is the bullish or the bearish case, we do have a range. So obviously we do, within this range, we do have this kind of level, so that we can use. Also, we do have some other levels, because apart from the value area of this range, we can always trade this kind of level. Let me see if I can actually, I do have this one. No, let's mark a couple of levels, and that would be the top and the bottom of this range. Obviously, this is the bottom of the range, and if we mark this level for a swing failure pattern, right? Because this is kind of what one would expect if you're trading ranges, and also we do have the top of the range, right? So, like I said, before we get more confirmation about the bullish or the bearish case here, we do have a range. So within this range, value area of this range, value high, point of control, value area low, and other than that, we do have the low and the high of this range. So those are actually the levels that you want to trade. That's where you get, if we get a swing failure pattern, that's why I mark these levels with the swing failure pattern. If you see a swing failure pattern of the high or a swing failure pattern of the low, definitely that would give you a very good trading opportunity, especially, and if you know how I'm trading the swing failure patterns, if you see a swing failure pattern of the low or of the high, and if the price managed to get acceptance back into the value of this range, then you know that is a very good range, and one would expect the full rotation at least to touch. Let's say we talk about the long here, swing failure pattern of this low, and then the price get acceptance back into the value of this range, claiming the value low, then one would expect at least, you know, point of control value high, and possibly why not full rotation to the top of the range, where depending on the reaction, depending on the situation, if we see another swing failure pattern, then why not trade it? We see a swing failure pattern, we trade the swing failure pattern, and then the first level of interest is actually the value area high this time. If the price managed to get acceptance, losing value area high of this range, then we do have point of control value low, and why not the low of the range? So this is the way I like to trade ranges, very simple, based on reaction, and the results I would say are pretty good. Also, the top and the bottom of the range, most of the time they offer a very good trade in terms of risk to reward ratio. So basically the invalidation is very close, and the possibility for more upside or more downside depending on situation is just tremendous. So those are the best kind of trades. And one of these trades, you start as a scalp, as a day trade, but maybe one of these scalps could actually turn into something more, maybe a possible swing trade. Who knows? So those are the levels that actually I'm looking at right now. Like I said, the value are low, very good support. In the same time, you can see here we had a swing failure pattern. So the liquidity from this area was taken because we had some liquidity here, and now we are building liquidity in this section of the chart. So basically the value are low. We do have stop losses. Also, we're creating liquidity in this area. And also I would imagine there are some stop losses in this section of the chart. That's why I always like to trade this kind of high liquidity areas. And the best trader is a swing failure pattern. Sometimes you get like a double top or double bottom, and that's maybe a bit harder to trade, but a swing failure pattern is the easiest trade ever because you have a very clean invalidation, and like I said, a lot of possibility for more upside or more downside depending if you're trading a long or a short. And since we talk about liquidity, as you can see, basically obviously we do have liquidity in this section of the chart because we do have high, and then the price was making lower high, lower high, lower high. So we do have this section of the chart, right, where we do have stop losses, but also the price is creating a liquidity area here, somewhere around the 30K psychological area, because we do have this high, and other than that, we do have lower high and a lower high. And this actually happened a couple of days ago, 2 days ago. And I was hoping at this point in time that the price would actually take at least this area for a swing failure pattern, and that would give a very nice trading opportunity. Obviously, we got a small front run. The price was making made a lower high there. So this adds, we got the reaction. So don't get me wrong, that was a very good trade. I mean, we talk about top to bottom, we do have 5%. So that's a very good trade. But on a higher time frame, the price is still creating liquidity. So those are the levels that one actually likes to trade. Like I said before, we get more confirmation about the price pushing higher, continuing the uptrend that we've started since the 50K bottom risk for the moment, until we get more confirmation about that, or maybe the value area low of the high time frame range will still act, and this entire section of the chart will still act as resistance. Then we do have this information, and this is the kind of information that I like to use for my trading, right? So to this information that we do have right now, we can add couple of more levels, couple of more confluences, and that would create an even better and stronger level. And for that, we can enable the horizontal levels, right? Something like this. And we can see that we do have a couple of levels to work with. And I'm looking starting from where the price is right now. So we do have a new daily level, untapped daily level. Usually I like to keep only the untapped horizontal levels on my chart. And sometimes we do have some really important levels that you see the price, you see that level holding the price up or down a couple of times. So obviously you would like to keep that level on the chart as long as you see a reaction there. Now, so let's start with the levels to the upside. So we do have this untapped daily level, and that would be 29,519 level to be taken into consideration. However, I'm more interested in this area. So like I said, I'm always looking for liquidity. So we do have a lot of liquidity here, stop losses, stop losses, stop losses. And just above this level, we do have an untapped weekly and an untapped daily level, right? So that would be the weekly 30,313 and the daily level 30,387. So definitely that is a very interesting area, right? So let's keep that area in mind. And other than that, So we do have liquidity in this section of the chart. Let's see if I can actually mark this one. So we do have liquidity in this section of the chart, right? And also we do have liquidity in this section of the chart here, right? So those are actually the areas that I would like to trade, right? Obviously, in this section of the chart, the only trade that I would like to trade is actually a short trade. There's no way in the world I'm going to take a long here. This is a short or no trade. Obviously, all my trades are based on reaction, so we need to see what is going on in that area, when or if the price, will reach that area. So, like I said, most of my trades are just based on reaction, but just to keep this thing in mind. So those are the levels that I'm looking for a possible reaction. And obviously above this high, we still have this untapped daily level. That's 31,342, right? So let's keep this information into consideration. And starting with the levels to the downside, we do have an untapped weekly level, right? So that would be 27,573. And this daily, this is a tap daily level, but like I said, if you see this together with the value low holding the price, holding as support, so holding the price up, this is a level that I would still like to keep it on my chart. So this day level 27,115 together with the value area low of this local range, those are another levels that I would like to keep in mind to take them into consideration. Obviously, the low of this range for a possible swing failure pattern. So that is the horizontal levels, daily and weekly, are a very, very important part of my TA. Apart from that, right, we can enable a couple of other things, and that would be the naked point of control. Naked point of control, in other words, a point of control that is not tapped by the price. So in this situation, and obviously to get the easiest way, obviously you can do this manually in TradingView using the fixed range, but the way I like to mark the naked point of control is using an order flow software, and that would be ExoCharts in my opinion. So we can see, if we use ExoCharts, we can see that we do have a couple of naked points of control. So we do have two to the upside, and also we do have a couple of them to the downside. Okay, something along these lines. But because I am streaming from my laptop, so the view is not very, very clear. That's why I like to mark them in TradingView. So we do have a daily naked point of control, 30,798. And this daily naked point of control, it is very, very, very close to this high, right? So another confluence for this high. Also, we do have this daily naked point of control, 29,398, which is very, very close to this high and this entire liquidity area. So that's one other information that we need to keep into consideration. And other than that, to the downside, we don't have too much going on within this range. And the next naked point of control to the downside are somewhere around the 25K psychological area. Let's not forget about this area, and please allow me to hide the naked point of control for the moment, because here we do have an important SNR flip level, and that would be this one, 25,222. And you'll see why this is an important level, because it was this low here. And other than that, it acted as a very, very good resistance here. We see perfect touch of this level. Boom, the price going to the downside. And once again, very, very good resistance here. Touch the level. Boom, the price is going to the downside. Then the price claimed, back tested, and we do have a range forming in this section of the chart. So we do have high time frame levels. We do have this, the value area low, right? So let's put some perspective. Let's hide the local range, right? And also this, the top and the bottom of this range. And we do have, right now we do have the value area low of this high time frame range, right? Consolidation. And to the downside, we do have this area. Obviously, this is a high time frame level, and I don't like to think about this to the absolute level. So I would say the 25K psychological area, this should act as support, or at least if this local range will break to the downside, this kind of level, it is a very, very important level to be defended by the bulls. So the bulls if they are there, they need to defend this level, because below this level, I would say that is weakness. And it opens the possibility for some lower prices. Obviously, we do have levels here in between. So let's say between 25 and 20K psychological area, because we talk about psychological area. So 30K acting as resistance right now. Then we do have 25, and then we do have 20K psychological area. Like I said, when we talk about high time frame levels, for example, this low is somewhere around 19,400. Great, but I would consider this as a 20K psychological area, 25K psychological area, and currently the price is just consolidating around the 30K psychological area. You can see this one, resistance, and it is still resistance. So high time frame, we are consolidating. The price is just consolidating here. The high time frame SNR flip level, somewhere around 25K psychological area, should act as support. The bulls should defend this level. And also higher time frame, I would say, to the upside, we do have this level, right? We do have this level, this high. Basically, it is the high. Obviously, one could mark this one, but I kind of like this level. That would be 32,392. So basically the top of this range. Again, high time frame level, I wouldn't think it to the absolute dollars, give or take. But other than that, we do have a level here. We do have a level to a downside, and the price currently is just consolidating around the value area low of this high time frame range. Okay. So those are the high time frame levels, but because we are here and we need to prepare the next trading week, right? Let's enable the levels that we do have here, and let's enable also the top, bottom of the range, horizontal level, and naked points of control. Okay, there are quite a bit of levels on my chart, but you'll see why I'm keeping those levels on my chart. So let's start with the trading plan. Again, I'm looking at a couple of areas to short and over a couple of areas to long. Like I said, my trades are based on reaction. I do have a trading plan. If I see a good reaction, then obviously I go for the trade. I need a good invalidation and a decent RNR for that trade. Other than that, it's just click sell or buy and let the market decide if you're wrong or right in that trade. And as long as, let's not forget about the risk management. The risk management is key in trading. As long as you use the correct risk management, even if you take a loss from time to time, I would say that's part of the game and shouldn't be any kind of problem, in my opinion. Everyone is losing a trade from time to time. So if someone says, "Hey, I never lose a trade," I would argue that, to be totally honest. Okay, but enough talking. Let's start with the TA. Okay, so basically the execution where I'm looking for a possible trade. So let's start with shorts. So I would be more than interested to trade this area here. Like I said, liquidity. So a swing failure pattern here, that would be the first area that I'm actually looking for a trade. Now, the problem here is that this high, because I would definitely like to see this high taken. This high is very, very close to this. Well, kind of close to this weekly and daily. And also we do have more liquidity here. So the first area that I would actually like to short would be this area. This high here, somewhere around 30K. Like I said, 30K psychological area. I would give it, again, I would like to trade, best case scenario, I would like to trade a swing failure pattern. So maybe the price will do something like, I don't know, something like this, right? Claiming the value area low, the value area high, sorry, of this range, and then going for the swing failure pattern here. I'm okay with the price touching this level, the weekly or the daily, as long as we get a reaction, a swing failure pattern, and obviously at that point in time, sorry for the drawing, not my best not my best skill, but other than that, this would be what I'm looking for. So swing failure pattern, then maybe a back test of this level, and then the price pushing to the downside. So that would be a very, very good trade in my opinion, right? And this kind of short, I would look to trade it back to the value area low of this range. Obviously, we do have daily naked point of control, this daily here, so maybe we'll see a reaction, but for this stream, for the purpose of the stream, I'm only sharing like the most likely scenario to happen. And remember, this is a scenario, and also all the information that I share in this stream are for educational purpose only. Definitely, this is not financial advice. But let's say we get a swing failure pattern of this area here, this liquidity area. Like I said, I'm okay with touching this weekly or even this daily, right? But this needs to hold the price down, so they need to act as resistance. So if I short in this area, obviously if we see a wick, I would use that wick as a stop loss. I would give it just a bit of space above for the stop loss. And other than that, I will look for this area. So I would like to see the price getting acceptance back into the value area of this local range. And to make everything more clear, please allow me to actually hide this, right? So if we get the swing failure pattern in this area, then I would like to see if the price actually manages to get acceptance back into the value of this range. Also, this could be take profit one. If the price managed to get acceptance back into the value area of this range, then point of control, value area low, and why not the low of this range. So all this section of the chart, so let's say the point of control, value area low, they could be take profits, obviously most of the time after take profit one, I would like to move my stop loss at entry, and at that point in time, even if I'm stopped out after take profit one for the rest of my position, that should be still a profitable trade, or depending on the situation, it should be a break even. But this would be the first scenario that I'm looking for, right? So trade this range. We do have this liquidity area here, so that would be the first area that I would like to short. Again, check what's going on here in this section of the chart. If the price gets acceptance in here, so this could be a take profit one. If the price gets acceptance in here, that can be seen as weakness, and it opens the possibility for lower. How much lower we need to determine based on the price action and what will happen next week. Again, if we get this kind of scenario, and now we need to enable once again the horizontal levels, because they are very, very important. Because obviously I'm looking for a short in this area, but you never know what the price is going to do. So maybe instead of a swing failure pattern here, the price would actually do this small rejection, let's say from the weekly, that daily, and other than that, the price will move here, right? And if I see this daily and this weekly claimed, and then, if I'm in a short and I see this, then I'll be stopped out for a small loss. Like I said, risk management is in check, so that shouldn't be the end of the world. But if this level would be claimed, so let's say the 30K psychological area, which acted as resistance, this level would be claimed, and you see something like this, then that is a sign of strength, locally speaking, and that opened the possibility for higher. And higher, what do we have? First of all, we do have this high, right? We do have this high. So same story. I'm definitely looking for a possible swing failure pattern in that area. So starting with this scenario, but the price shouldn't go above this daily, and definitely you don't want to see this weekly daily flipped to support. If that happens, definitely no trade, or if you got involved there in a short, you should be out of the trade for a small loss. So this is the first area that I want to trade. Also, I'm more than interested in trading this area. So a swing failure pattern of this high, that would be a very, very good trade, because let's not forget this high is actually the top of this range. And when you trade here, same story. So you do trade in this area, right? Same story. You see a swing failure pattern, you trade the swing failure pattern. So if the price, please allow me to clean the chart. So if we see something like this, right? So let's say the price is claiming this area, then we move here, right? I'm okay with touching this daily, no problem, but I would like to see a swing failure pattern happening there, meaning something like this, that would be another trade. The wick can be used depending where the wick will go. This wick can be used as a stop loss. This is your entry. And obviously in this kind of situation, we do have daily weekly, so the 30K up to down to the 30K psychological area. So you want to see this level lost. Then we move to the value area of this range. If the price gets acceptance in here, obviously this can be used, both these areas, they can be used as a take profit, or at least check the reaction there, check what the price is doing in that area. And if you see that let's say this area or this area holding as a strong support, then you need to cut your trade or book some profits or react depending on the situation. But let's say that's not the case and we get a very, very bearish price action, technically, I mean, even down to the value area low. Now remember, this is still a developing area, so the levels could change at any point in time. So the value area high could move higher, and we need to use that information depending on the volume that's deployed at each level. But other than that, if the price will get acceptance back into the value area of this range, then one would say the chances for this to go at least to the value area low or even to the bottom of the range are increasing. And again, when you trade a swing failure pattern of this kind of at the top of the range, for example, this gives the possibility of a very, very good trade. Again, we don't know if this is the bullish or the bearish case. Obviously, one could have a bias, but other than that, we do have a range, and I would say the best trade is actually to trade the range until the range breaks. Again, like I said, I'm more than happy to trade a short here or a short of the top of the range, but that would be based on reaction, because if you see the price pushing bullish market structure, volume with bull volume, meaning a lot of longs opening and levels claimed, then definitely that is not a reaction, that is not rejection, and there would be no trade in my opinion. There is no way that I will get involved if I see bullish price action. But if I start to see rejection, then hey, there is a trade for me. And even if I trade one of these trades, right? Even if I get it, doesn't really matter if I trade this area or this area. If one of these trades hit my take profit one, and after that, if I'm stopped out, that for me is still a very, very good trade. Really depends where take profit one should be. Could be, let's say we're trading the top of the range, could be this daily, weekly, or could be value area high of this range. That still is a very, very good trade in my opinion. So those are the shorts that I actually want to take within this range, right? And now let's talk about, let's hide this, and also let's hide this here. Let's say the price action becomes really, really, really bullish, and we see no swing failure pattern in this area, and definitely no swing failure pattern in this area. Then on a higher time frame level, obviously that's bullish. And the next area that I'll be looking for a possible reaction, like I said, is this high. So if the price will move here, same story, I'm more than happy to trade a swing failure pattern there, right? Doesn't mean necessarily that this is the bearish case, right? Because we could see something like this. So let's say bullish price action here, flipping this level, then bullish price action here, flipping the top of the range, and then we move here. And maybe in this section of the chart, we do see a swing failure pattern. We start to see rejection, definitely there's a trade for me, right? And if I get that, then let's say I trade here, I'll have a stop loss depending on the wick that we do have here, then definitely I'll be targeting this area, right? So I'll be targeting the value area low of this high time frame range. And after that, let's see, I get this, and we need to measure this move. Let's say we get here, this is a 10% move. So it doesn't mean this is the bearish case. Could be, we don't know. Because if the price will lose this, then that opens the possibility for the lows of this range and the 25K psychological area, where once again, we need to check the reaction. Good support, then you look for longs. No support, no nothing, then the price could go lower. But let's say the price, for the purpose of this stream and for the purpose of the educational reason, and for the purpose of the technical analysis, let's say the price would do this. Doesn't really mean that this is actually a bearish price action, that the price could go here. And after that, this area, right, holding as support, and then boom, the price could go higher. But I do think that this is the trade. Again, this is a trade based on reaction. All the swing failure patterns, and that's why I like the swing failure pattern so much, all the swing failure patterns are based on reaction. So you need to check if there is a reaction. By reaction, I mean, obviously a rejection. So you want to see the price rejecting, the price moving lower. Check the market structure on low time frame, 1, 3, 5 minutes. If you have access to an order flow software, if you understand, even if it is the basic thing about the order flow, obviously that could help you to determine if that is a rejection first, and then how strong is that rejection based on the volume, based on the open interest, based on imbalances, based on liquidations, CVD divergences, and all sorts of divergences depending on what tools or what indicator you are using. But you want to see a rejection. If no rejection, then this is the very, very bullish case and the price could move higher. So always, the way I like to trade is always based on reaction. Okay, so let's recap this. Obviously, in this section of the chart, the only trade that I would look for is a short or no trade, starting with this one, then moving to the top of the range and a swing failure pattern of this level. And I explained just a bit of reaction, and I explained at least the take profit one, and definitely if the price becomes really, really bearish, then maybe this is the bearish case and we will see another retracement, just like the one we've seen in this section of the chart. Doesn't mean this is very, very bearish. No, it's just a retracement. But obviously, if you see a retracement, then why not use it to make some money? Okay, so that would be the short areas that I'm looking for a trade. But as a trader, you always, and especially because we do not have a very, very clear confirmation for the bullish or the bearish case, like I said, this is, so look at this section of the chart. This area holding us resistance, 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 claim, lost, range, support holding, and now we're just, the price is trying to flip it once again to support. We need to see if this is, once again, we don't know, in my opinion, we don't really know if this is the bullish or the bearish case. So until that happens, it's always a good idea to have a trading plan. And like I said, those are the areas that where I would like to short, but also I'm interested in longing. Same story, we need to think about the local range that we do have here. And that would be this one, right? Together with the rest of the confluences that we do actually have on this chart. And that would be, first of all, let's say the horizontal levels, right? So based on this, let's create a trading plan, right? So where we do have liquidity. So we do have liquidity here and we do have a weekly level. So depending once again on the reaction, and this time we need to check for the long position. So the best trade ever would be definitely a swing failure pattern of this low. So please allow me to once again to enable this, right? The best trade ever, if you watch my my stream, my last public stream, I was looking for the same setup. Unfortunately, we got that swing failure pattern here, but it didn't go all the way to this low, but we got a swing failure pattern here and a very nice push to the upside. So obviously, there was a small change in my plan, but again, my trading plan is the same. So the best case scenario would be actually a swing failure pattern of this low, right? Depending on the week, we can adjust the stop loss, and then same story as to the upside. This time we need to see if the price managed to get acceptance back into the value area of this range. So remember, the value area low plus this daily, they're holding as very, very good support. So support, 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 support. Imagine if the price would go here. So if the price would do something like this, I don't know, like very, very bearish price action, the price would do this. So we actually get the swing failure pattern, but the price is not able to get acceptance back into the value area, so to claim this level. So if we see this, definitely this is a take profit one, right? Because the price could do this, right? So we need to check the reaction at each level, right? Please allow me to clean the chart. But if we get a swing failure pattern here, and if the price managed to get acceptance back into the value of this range, then same story, the point of control, value are high, and why not higher towards the levels, towards this liquidity daily, and why not the top of the range plus the top daily 31,342. So that would be the best trade ever, in my opinion. Very close invalidation and a lot of room for the price to move to the upside. Now, this would be the best case scenario. And if you see this, if you see a swing failure pattern, you trade the swing failure pattern, very, very important, check if the price managed to get acceptance back into the value of this range. That is a very, very, very important thing to take into consideration. But sometimes the price action, it is what it is, and you don't get the best reaction, meaning the price is not going to take this low, right? We've seen this in this section of the chart where the price, small front run, and then down we go. Now, that's why maybe we'll see not a swing failure pattern of this low, but maybe a swing failure pattern of this section of the chart, right? So once again, you see a swing failure pattern, you trade a swing failure pattern, and this would be even easier because you see even faster if the price would get acceptance above this daily or and above the value area low of this range, so back into the value area. So this would be, so I'm more than interested into trading this low, but also I'm checking this area of liquidity too. So if the price will not go straight to that low, then I'm happy with this trade too. We do have this low here, and we do have an untapped weekly level here too. And also, if I imagine, if I remember correctly, I pulled some fibs. So the golden pocket comes somewhere around the point of control of this range. Now, maybe we'll see something like this, and the price will go somewhere around the golden pocket, maybe take this low. But at that point in time, right? So that could be a trading setup, but we need to understand where we set the stop loss, right? So that would be a more complicated situation, and in that situation I'm more than happy to trade it, but that would be as a scalp. That would start as a scalp, and I'll be more aggressive with my take profit one, because obviously we can get this story. So let's say the price will tap this weekly and then up we go, great, but that doesn't give me the full confidence to keep that trade running for a day trade or possible swing trade. Give me the swing failure pattern here, and then I know that could be a good trade. Give me these lows here, just below this daily and value low, and that would be a very nice trade. Anything above this level, so maybe we'll see this weekly 25,573, that's still a trade. Definitely, I'm not going to short here. So the only trade that I would take is a long or no trade, but I would treat that as a scalp. Right, that would be a scalp, and maybe that would be a scalp to, I don't know, maybe that would be a scalp to, let's say, to the point of control, right? Something along these lines. I make 1% and I'm happy. Maybe that will go to value area high, or maybe to here, and that would be, once again, that would be a very, very nice trade, and so on. But definitely the best trading opportunities are giving either lows or these lows here, just in the same way. Good trading opportunity here, and even better trading opportunity to the top of this range, right? And very, very important, we need to remember those are trades based on reaction. You see a good reaction, I explain what I would like to see for a good reaction. You see a good reaction, then obviously take the trade. Please don't forget about risk management, because you never know what's going to happen, even with the best reaction, best context, best everything, and still the trade could go against you at any point in time. So that's why the risk management is very, very, very important for each trade. So to end this section of the chart, right, and to clear the chart just a bit. So we're in a range. In my opinion, we do not have a lot of confirmation for the bullish or the bearish scenario. So until that happens, until we get some sort of confirmation, then we do have a range. So let's trade this range. Value area of this range, low, high, that would be the next important level. Obviously, like I said, the price could go lower, 25k psychological area, or could go higher to 32, 33, who knows. But that's part of another story. And until we get that, we do have a range. So I would say, let's use this kind of information for our trading. So that would be basically my trading plan for next week on the Bitcoin chart. Now let's move to the ES chart. And as you all know, obviously here I would like to start with the high time frame too. I'm trying to keep this as short as possible because we have already 45 minutes, but you know, there is a lot of information to deliver and I want to be as clear as possible with my trading plan and everything that's going on this chart. So that's why, you know, sometimes it takes this long. Hopefully you are not bored with this details. And there is one thing that we need to take into consideration here. If you're part of the Safehouse, especially the premium level, you should know that I'm a big fan of the direct correlation between ES and Bitcoin. Usually they move together. Maybe not to the absolute dollar, maybe not in terms of percentages. Maybe ES can move 1%, maybe Bitcoin could move 10%. You never know, but I would say definitely there is correlation between two charts. However, last week something happened, and it is not the first time that something like that happens. You know, ES was pushing to the downside like crazy, and Bitcoin was pushing to the upside. So I've seen that this disconnection between the two charts, and like I said, I'm using this correlation between the direct correlation between the two charts for my bias. But lately I've seen, so it happens once last week, and I've seen it, I think, twice in the past. So we need to check if this is just a one-time thing, or I don't know, something random on the chart, maybe, I don't know, some news involved, who knows, or this disconnection starts to fade. And you know, I'm more than happy to use that information for my trading. One thing I've learned in trading is that you cannot afford to have an ego. So if I use one thing for trading, then great, I'll use it as long as it works. If it doesn't work, then, you know, I will change it, and that's the end of story. At the end of the day, I'm here to make money. I'm not here to be right, you know, something like that. Okay. So that's one thing that I want to mention about this chart. So for the moment, I'm still using the correlation. However, I've seen the disconnection between the charts, and I'm gathering information in my journal to see if that was just a random thing, or that would become the rule for the next weeks, month, or maybe years to come. Okay, so let's start with this chart. Like I said, we're still in a range here, in my opinion, and just with this section of the chart, we can see that we do have the price once again is somewhere around the point of control of this range. Please allow me to take a drink and I'll continue. Cool. So as you can see, this is, you know, one of the reasons that the price cannot move higher. And this is very, very interesting because in this section of the chart, we had high and then lower high, lower high, lower high, right? So once again, the price was building liquidity in this area. Same rejection from the point of control of this high time frame range. And then the price slowly started to take one by one this height, because if I mark this one, boom, you know, and if we mark this with a swing failure pattern, okay, you can see, boom, high taken, swing failure pattern, the price retracing. Great, but still this area holding, because you can see here that this area was support lost, then flipped to resistance claimed, and since then it is support. And this is not just a random level on the chart, because there we do have this monthly level 4090, right? This is an older level, but as you can see, this is a very, very good SNR flip. But even without this monthly, you know, that is still, even without any, just by looking at the chart, you can clearly see that this is an SNR flip level here locally on the chart, right? So the price retracing, moving to this level. Then let's move to this high. You can see this high taken and another high. Let's move to this one, right? High taken, right? I think the price here managed to take, okay. So it took the next couple of highs, followed by another rejection, where once again the SNR flip level holding as support, boom. And then the price moved once again higher, right? And here we still have one high. You can see that last week we had a small front run, right? But Now we do have stop losses here and we still have stop losses here. So that is a very, very, very important level on the chart. Also, like I said, this area is a very, very important level too. So once again, the price is just consolidating between two important levels, this one and this one, right? So what do we do here? Well, the same thing that we always do is pull a fixed range like this, right? Pull a fixed range like this. And also we can enable the horizontal levels. And if you're part of the premium Discord, and also I think I mentioned this during the last public stream, that was 2 weeks ago. I was always, the price was somewhere in this area, if I remember, or I can remember, doesn't really matter. But I'm always looking for liquidity. So check what actually happened. Let's go to lower time frame, like 1 hour, for example. Right. Let's enable this fixed range here. Right. So check what happened here. So the price moved to take this low. And if we, I don't have, doesn't matter. Let's mark this low, right? Boom. Let's put it as a swing failure pattern. And this, I was traveling actually here. And like I said, if the price would take this low, right, for a swing failure pattern, that is a good trade, right? You can use the wick to place your stop loss. And now we move to the part if, right? So if the price, obviously we have a daily, we have a monthly, if the price managed to claim the daily, the monthly, and to get acceptance back into the value area of this range, you know, that opens the possibility for more upside. For more upside, obviously we do have this daily, you can see, boom, the price moving from this daily tap to the absolute dollar 40.76 to this daily 41.70. So you can see tap to the absolute dollar, tap to the absolute dollar. So obviously these kind of levels, they are giving an intraday, and we talk about, let's not forget, we talk about here a move of about 1%, right? Just above 1%. For this chart, that is a lot. Maybe you're not trading stocks or Forex, and maybe you're used to Bitcoin or altcoins where 3-5% move, you know, it's let's say you get that at least once a week. But for this chart, that's 1%, that is actually quite a lot. Then the price taking, and the problem with this was that we still had liquidity below this low. So, okay, fair enough. You start to see reaction, then you trade. But again, remember, you treat this as a scalp. You start to book profits more aggressively and check what's going on. And the best trading opportunity, so exactly what I was explaining on the Bitcoin chart, the best trading opportunities are actually given by the lows and the top of this range. Here we had this small front run. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, I apologize. Small front run, you know, sometimes happens, but small front run here, and then the price moved once again to take the lows. And this time you can see some rejection from the monthly, then monthly claimed, then we moved to the value area low of this range, claimed the value area low, boom, and we move to the next important level on the chart. That will be point of control, and value area high. You can see value area high tap to the absolute dollar. Also, we do have this daily level here, so additional confluence for this section of the chart. That will be 41.59, and if we pull some fibs, then my best guess, we are somewhere around, you know, somewhere around the golden pocket here, give or take. So obviously we do have a couple of levels, a couple of confluences there. So you know, that is an important area. Here we do have this section of the chart, right, where one would expect a possible reaction here, right? So one would expect to short this. Why not? Because we do have liquidity. We do have this daily. We had this reaction here. So why not? Maybe we'll get the same reaction twice. However, remember what I said about trading based on reaction? As you can see, there's no reaction here, right? So if you're looking for a short here, there's no short, right? The price was just pushing. So if you see this, definitely you need to stand back. Let's say, okay. Sorry, the allergies are just killing me this year. Like I was saying, so based on reaction, do you see any kind of reaction here? No, the price was pushing to the upside. So definitely there's no short. So technically you would look here for a short, and I was looking for a short, right? But if you see this, definitely there's no short, right? And this kind of reaction can be used at any point in time on any chart. So this is no reaction. Now let's move to this area. We still have this high. Obviously we do have daily, we do have value high, so we do have the golden pocket here. So we do have, this is a level, let's say this is a level to give me more confidence for a short. And you can see, boom, the price does this, and then we start to see small retracement. So this looks more like a reaction than, you know, this section of the chart or this section of the chart. Okay, the price moves. Okay, fair enough, moves to this area, rejection from the monthly, then take the lows again. Let's say you traded this one and you didn't book any profits, and the take was and the price will take your stop loss. Although, I mean, this is very I mean, I don't think we have not even 0.4%, not even that, right? 0.3%. It is impossible. I mean, even on this chart, I still give it like 0.1%. That was 0.03%. So, but let's say somehow you have your stop loss here and your stop loss was hit, you can always re-enter, right? You see a swing failure pattern, you trade a swing failure pattern, and like I said, you check what's going on. So you see this retracement, but as you can see, the price is not making a new lower low, but a higher low. That's good. That's in terms of market structure and reversal pattern. This starts to look good. Then we move once again to this monthly, and we slowly start to see levels claimed. So when you see something like this, doesn't mean that you cannot book profits. Definitely you can book profits, but if you see a trend establishing here, obviously you want to ride that trend as much as possible. Definitely this should be a take profit. First of all, a take profit, right? And after that, like I said, small rejection here. Let's actually measure this rejection. So we talk about 0.4%. Okay, I'm really interested in how this market will open tonight, right? I'm not sure if it is a bank holiday. I'm not sure, but anyway, let's see how this market will open, because like I said, this could influence Bitcoin chart too. So we're here. Definitely, I'm not going to look for a long here. So the price stopped somewhere around the value high, but still have this high, right? So we could see another swing failure pattern here. Now we could see a swing failure pattern, and then if the price managed to lose once again the point of control, you know, that could open the possibility once again for lower. If we don't see, if we will see a bullish open and no swing failure pattern in this area, then definitely the next area that I'll be looking for a trade would be this high. Remember this high, we do have this high too, so a lot of liquidity in that area, right? So you see a swing failure pattern, once again you trade a swing failure pattern. But if you do that, and again based on reaction, so let's not rush into things here, but if we get a swing failure pattern, something like this, that'll be a very nice trade, right? Stop loss depending on the wick, depending on the rejection there. And then if we get this kind of rejection here, then we need to check what's going on in this area. So we do have value high, we do have the point of control, so this could be a take profit one. If the price managed to get acceptance back into the value area of this range, then obviously the price could go to the value low, and why not lower? So that would be a very nice trade in my opinion. Again, based on the reaction, again, we could see this, you know, but for that, I would like to see the point of control lost of this range. If the point of control be lost, then yeah, lower is possible. Right, how much lower we need to determine. So definitely value low, the monthly, and a new lower low on the chart. So those are the trades that I'm actually looking for. Let's move to daily time frame once again, and this time let's hide boom, let's hide the horizontal levels too. Okay, fair enough. And we are here, right? So like I said, I'm more than interested in trading this section of the chart. Let's hide the fixed range too. Okay, but let's say we will not see a reaction here. We not see a reaction, no swing failure pattern, no nothing, just a bullish, very, very bullish weekly open and daily open, and the price keeps pushing. Then if no swing failure pattern, remember what I said, I'd always trade based on reaction. But if no swing failure pattern, then very, very simply, I will look for the next important level on the chart. And that level is very, very simple. We do have the value area high somewhere around 40, was this 43.21. Also, we do have this high, you know, for a possible swing failure pattern. And if I remember correctly, if we pull some fibs from something along this these lines, so from high to low, give or take, sorry about this, give or take, also we do have the golden pocket there, right? So I'm more than interested to trade this section of the chart for a swing failure pattern, right? But if the price keeps pushing, then I'm not going to force it. And the next area that I'll be looking for a short is actually this value high, golden pocket, and this high. No reaction here. That's actually very, very bullish. And if this area would be flipped to support, so the value high of this high time frame range, multi-year range, if this area would be flipped as support, then definitely we do have a couple of levels in between. We do have some liquidity here, but you know, one would expect a new high on the chart. And if this is the scenario, this is the bullish scenario, I would imagine that Bitcoin will follow. So it is a good idea. And again, this is a big if. For the moment, these assets moved together, direct correlation, so it's all good there. But maybe something changed. You know, we need to see that. And definitely we need to gather information about the new situation. Like I said, it happened 3 times as long as I'm concerned, as far as I've seen it. But, you know, maybe this will become the first rule. But however, we're here, this is very, very strong resistance. So look, resistance, 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 resistance. So I'm more than happy to trade it. But if the price actually managed to claim this resistance, that would be very, very bullish. And then I'm looking towards this area, and we do have a couple of highs, but obviously a new higher high comes into play. So this would be my trading plan for ES this week. Please don't forget about this, let's say, local range. Let's move to 1 hour time frame. This local range here giving very, very good results. And also in terms of horizontal level, this monthly, this range, I pulled this range basically since this monthly levels was claimed, right? Very nice range, because here, as you can see, this monthly levels was kind of part of this SNR flip level where we had resistance, then flipped to support, then lost, and since then resistance flipped, and now it is support. And for the bulls, so the bears, definitely they know what they have to do. They have to defend this area like crazy, because claiming this area opened the possibility, let's say at least the possibility for much higher prices. And the bulls definitely needs to defend this area, right? This monthly, give or take. Yeah. But the bulls needs to defend this area, because below, I would say, is weakness. And once again, losing this area, that opens the possibility for much lower prices. So let's keep an eye on this chart. Let's see how this situation will develop on both charts, right? On this chart and on Bitcoin chart. I hope my trading plan is clear for everyone. And other than that, I will catch you for the members in Premium Discord. Obviously, I will catch you all tomorrow. If you are in our Discord and only on the public level, then starting next week, we will try to post as much as possible. And for the rest of you, I think I will catch you all for the next public Sitrep. Until then, I wish you a great weekend ahead. Thank you for everything. Cheers and bye-bye.